Museums which seek to be successful today are faced with the breakneck pace of expansion in the culture and leisure industries. In my opinion, it is necessary to elaborate and implement a brand understanding in order to know and expand the brand's inherent strengths. The overall impression of the museum is one of technique, atmosphere. It's reduced by reason of its contents and thus limited to what is needed by design. The materials and lighting underline the aspect of its form determining design. Now I show you something to see it from outside. Perhaps you know, you have been perhaps already here, the headquarter, the field cylinder, and there you can see the bowl at the right and the flat wing in front. These two buildings are belonging to the newer area of the museum. What is termed kinetic sculpture is a work of art made by Art and Com in Berlin, Joachim Sauter, composed of media-controlled spheres. It exudes a special kind of fascination, a floating carpet composed of 714 stainless steel balls, let's say pearls, form shapes which, as soon as the visitor recognizes them, immediately disappear again to form a new shape. Oh, that's great. You just have to understand that this kinetic sculpture is the first exhibit area that the visitor can see after he has paid the entrance, which is not very cheap. And he expects to see perhaps the oldest car or bike of BMW, and we break that expectation. It's the gesture of our museum that we do not deal only with cars, but that we are thinking about processes. In this house of the design, we just present that miracle that all the creative people, and I think you are of that population, the creativity begins in your mind, and it's really astonishing. We cannot argue, we cannot say why it is like this, that we are empowered to create something new, to design something. Thank you very much.
One of the things I'm curious about is that when you worked with Joachim Sauter, who is one of the media artists who helped you out with building the museum or remodeling the museum, he said to you at one point that you should be authentic. What do you think he meant by that, or what was his idea about authenticity?
To create a museum, for instance, and to stay every time for your own, not willing to be everybody's darling, not looking on what other museums are doing or what gives a certain effectiveness, not going to the Marienplatz at the center of Munich and asking other peoples, what do you want us to create? How should it be, the BMW Museum? But think about your own stomach, and I have a good one of that. Just think about your own. How would I create a museum? How would I to present cars and all our collection, for example, to my friends? And not just to test it, not to order agencies to make, as you said, 100 days to create something, not to wait too much, but to design something and being by your own means to have a brand. Sometimes I get visits from museums directors of Russia, from Poland, and we all know that they do not have a lot of money, but they have wonderful collections. The first of all, they ask, what should we do? Should we also buy new media? Please give us the contact to Joachim Sauter in Berlin. And I say, no, please don't. After 5 or 10 years, you have spent all the money and your new media is going to be old. Just think about your own. What should be important for a Russian museum? What should the visitor visitors should expect. What is your own brand? Sometimes I'm an art historian. Sometimes people in that area, they do not want to have, they think they sell their soul when they get in contact with marketing. And I say, no, marketing is wonderful. There are lots of experiences that we can gather, that we can overtake for the museum. And one of that is to create a personality of a museum.
All right, very good. Is there anybody who has a brief question for Andreas Braun?
Our friend from Ducati, he told us how the employees and management use the museum as a part of inspiration. What does your employees and the management do to use the museum again for inspiration?
Yeah, a very good question. Saturday and Sunday, when employees go with their girlfriend, with their women, with their family, they show something of the brand which they normally couldn't show because it's an area where any entrance is forbidden for others. And they are very, very proud. On the other hand, I have to say that our employees are our hardest criticisms because they say, this motorbike has lost something. Oh, I know about that because I built it for 30 years. And we say, okay, let it be like this. This is a statue. We are very proud to have it at all. So we are in very good and intensive relationship with our employees. Thank you.